The story begins with Hubon, a new student who joins the university because her grandfather is a famous pansori master, so he wanted Hubon to become a traditional music prodigy too. Hubon arrives late to class, and the teacher asks her to bring her instrument to the front and perform. After the performance, the teacher notices Leeson sleeping at the back of the classroom and asks him to comment on Hubon's performance. But Leeson embarrasses Hubon by saying, "It gave me a really good sleep," making all the students laugh. Later, Hubon gets a call from her grandpa and starts talking to him. As soon as she hangs up, her eyes fall on Leeson, who rejects a girl without hesitation, saying he doesn't like ugly girls. Seeing this, Hubon is quite surprised. Hearing that, the girl gets angry, slaps Leeson hard, and storms out, leaving Hubon even more shocked. When Leeson notices Hubon, he assumes she has also come to confess to him, so he rejects her in advance too. Later, while Hubon is watching the band's performance with her friends, she finds out that Leeson is the popular leader of a group called The Stupid, and she becomes captivated by his singing talent. At the library, Hubon accidentally sits at a shared desk and notices that the person sleeping opposite her is actually Leeson. Just then, a girl who had confessed to him comes with a basket and quietly places it beside him. When he wakes up, she gently apologizes for hitting him and leaves. But soon after, Leeson also walks away, leaving the basket behind. Seeing this, Hubon follows him and softly tells him to take the basket and not judge people by their appearance. However, Leeson ignores her and simply walks off. When Hubon goes after him again, she suddenly trips, slips, and falls at his feet, making everyone think he rejected her too. Although Leeson is known for being cold and harsh, he secretly loves his dance professor Yonu, but she does not feel the same because he is younger and she loves director Sion. Yonu later asks Leeson's band to perform at a fundraising event for their seriously ill professor, hoping the performance will attract more people and encourage donations for the professor's medical treatment. However, on the night of the event, Leeson does not appear, and angry fans demand refunds because they only came to hear him sing. Unsure what to do, Hubon sings improvisationally to calm everyone, and a Broadway director named Okun is impressed by her voice. Okun is a respected producer who will direct the school's anniversary festival. Although the event nearly fails because of Leeson's absence, Seon becomes deeply fascinated by Hubon's talent and praises her singing a lot. He asks her if she has ever sung before, but Hubon tells him that she only sang out of helplessness, so she could pay her professor's hospital bill. When Hubon gets on the bus, Seon notices that she has forgotten something, so he follows the bus to return it to her. But when he reaches there, he sees Hubon crying because her professor has passed away. After learning this, Seon quietly comforts her. The next day, the band's drummer tells Leeson to give Hubon an envelope of money to repay her for the missed performance. But Leeson feels scared to face her alone, so he asks his friend to come with him, but his friend refuses, saying it was Leeson's own fault. Later, when Leeson goes to meet Hubon, he sees her playing her instrument. He walks over and throws the envelope toward her, but surprisingly, she refuses to take it and speaks to him coldly, saying that Leeson is a very arrogant person and she doesn't understand why every girl likes him. Hearing this, Leeson gets furious. He grabs her arm and challenges her, saying that both of them will perform with their bands in front of a crowd, and whoever loses will have to become the winner's slave for 1 month. That's why both of them start practicing with their bands for the competition, each determined to defeat the other. Later that evening, while Leeson is sitting with his band in the rehearsal room, the drummer suddenly walks in looking upset. He tells Leeson that the professor Hubon had been raising funds for sadly passed away 2 days earlier. Hearing this, Leeson finally realizes why Hubon had been acting so cold. Finally, the day of the competition arrives, and both rivals come face to face with their bands, each determined to defeat the other. First, Leeson and his band, The Stupid, perform, and everyone loves their performance. After The Stupid delivered an amazing performance that left everyone stunned, Hubon and her band take the stage. But luck is not on Hubon's side today because, during the performance, one of the strings on her instrument suddenly snaps. Their performance comes to a stop, and because of that, Hubon and her band lose the challenge. As punishment, she becomes Leeson's slave for a month, attending his classes and bringing him coffee every morning. At night, Leeson and Hubon accidentally meet on the road. Hubon is upset because she lost the match, but instead of teasing her, Leeson gently tells her that she actually played really well. He says that if her instrument's string hadn't broken, the result might have been different. After that, Leeson apologizes for not performing at her concert and also says sorry for what happened with her professor. He finally reveals the real reason he couldn't attend the concert. That day, his little sister had surgery, and being with her was more important. After hearing this, Hubon finally realizes that Leeson is truly a good-hearted person, and she forgives him. During this time, she begins to fall for him, but he remains indifferent because he only has eyes for Yonu. Meanwhile, Yonu still loves director Seon, with whom she once had a romance, but now shares a strained relationship. Seon comes to the school to direct a musical festival and announces auditions to discover new talent. However, the professor assisting him is pressured by the president's wife to make her daughter Jiu the festival's lead. By chance, the drummer falls in love with Ji-woo at first sight and offers her a ride on his motorcycle, but she gets sick after being caught in the rain and misses the audition. Feeling guilty, he creates a stage so she can audition privately. Hubon also auditions and is surprised to see Lee Sin participating, later realizing he joined because of his love for Jonu. When Seon includes Hubon in the acting group, the other girls think he favors her because she belongs to the music group. Feeling threatened by Hubon's talent, Ji-woo insults her and accuses her of flirting with Seon, causing the other girls to bully her. Jonu also notices Hubon and Seon becoming close and grows jealous, eventually making Hubon realize that Jonu actually loves Seon, not Lee Sin. Even so, Lee Sin continues trying to win Jonu's heart and becomes jealous whenever she looks at Seon affectionately. Later, Jonu meets Seon and expresses her frustration about his special treatment of Hubon. They agree to meet later and clear up their misunderstandings, but then Lee Sin appears and gives Jonu a necklace. Later, while Seon is taking Hubon home, they witness Lee Sin kissing Jonu. Heartbroken, Hubon realizes she is in love with Lee Sin, while Seon becomes jealous and avoids meeting Jonu. Afterward, Jonu returns the necklace and clearly tells Lee Sin she never felt attracted to him. Lee Sin is deeply hurt, especially after seeing Jonu reconcile with Seon. Hubon tries comforting him and confessing her feelings, but he cruelly pushes her away. Lee Sin then spends time with his father, once a famous guitarist whose alcoholism separated him from the family and who is now dying. Later, Lee Sin throws away the necklace he had given Jonu, and Hubon tries helping him understand that his feelings for Jonu were only an illusion. Eventually, he accepts this and lets go of his one-sided love. By coincidence, Lee Sin moves next door to Hubon. At school, Hubon reminds him that her month as his slave is over, and he gives her one final task, finding a lost necklace. She finds it and realizes it belongs to a woman. When she hears that Lee Sin's father has died, she rushes to comfort him, only to find Jonu already there, making her realize the necklace belonged to Jonu. Hurt and disappointed, Hubon gives the necklace back and tells Lee Sin she will stop liking him. Surprisingly, her words hurt him deeply, and he starts missing her. He begins showing up wherever she is, and although he dislikes group outings, he joins activities with classmates for her sake, and when she falls asleep, he carries her home. Later, when her grandfather locks her inside the house to stop her from attending the festival audition, Lee Sin helps her escape. Hubon amazes everyone with her voice, but because of pressure from the president's wife, Ji-woo is chosen as the lead instead. When Hubon is heading home, Lee Sin offers to walk with her, but she leaves with Seon instead, causing Lee Sin to feel ignored and distance himself. On Hubon's birthday, she falls down the stairs and is hospitalized. Lee Sin visits her and asks her not to stop loving him. Later, during a class camping trip, he sits beside her and later helps her after she injures her ankle during a walk. In that emotional moment, Lee Sin admits he wants her to love him again, and Hubon decides to give him a chance. However, she later believes he is ashamed of their relationship because he tries to hide it. Lee Sin explains he only wanted to protect her from his fans, and to prove his feelings, he arrives at school holding her hand, dedicates a song to her, and kisses her publicly. Later, the festival sponsors ask for a preview performance, but Ji-woo disappears for the day because she's having lunch with the drummer and even turns off her phone. So, at the last moment, Seon is forced to replace Ji-woo with Hubon, but as soon as Hubon steps onto the stage, she completely amazes the sponsors with her excellent singing talent. Furious after seeing this, Ji-woo's mother slaps her own daughter and then secretly teams up with the professor, plotting to remove Seon and Hubon from the festival so her daughter can take back the main lead role. They trick Hubon and Seon into meeting secretly and photograph them together, spreading rumors around the school that they are having a secret relationship. Lee Sin knows it is all a misunderstanding, so he tells Seon that they need to clear up the rumors as soon as possible, otherwise both he and Hubon could end up in danger. On the other hand, Jonu also trusted Seon completely, but she says the best way to avoid more problems is to remove Hubon from the festival. However, the professor wanted Seon removed as well, claiming that he was damaging the school's reputation, but Seon was sure the professor was behind everything, because he was the one who had messaged both of them and called them to that place. So, to protect Hubon, Seon resigns from his position as director. The school president refuses his resignation because the sponsors support him, forcing Ji-woo's mother to apologize. Hubon is officially chosen as Ji-woo's substitute after Ji-woo develops a serious vocal cord condition requiring surgery. Because of this, the president decides to cancel the festival, but the students refuse to give up and collect funds to organize the performance themselves. Ji-woo still wants to participate and escapes from the hospital with the drummer's help. As soon as Ji-woo reaches school, she says it straight. She wants to return as the lead. Hearing this, Lee Sin gets angry and tells her that Hubon is the main lead now, but Hubon steps forward and gives the lead role back to Ji-woo herself before walking away. Seeing this, Lee Sin follows her and asks why she let Ji-woo become the main lead again. Hubon gently explains that she thinks Ji-woo has worked much harder than her for this role. Hearing that, Lee Sin hugs her and tells her that he's proud of her. When Ji-woo notices that Hubon is struggling to learn the dance steps, she decides to help her. her and patiently teaches her every move. But just then, Seon arrives and starts scolding Ji-Yoo for leaving her surgery behind and coming there instead. He tells her that her mom has already told him everything and asks why she never told him the truth herself, that if she sings, she might lose her voice. Hearing this, Hyubon is completely shocked, while Ji-Yoo breaks down in tears. Seeing her like that, both Seon and Hyubon start worrying about her, but at the same time, they feel proud of her too, because it shows how deeply sincere she is about her performance. Hyubon's grandfather also finally supports her after learning she plans to include traditional Korean music in the performance. During the festival, Ji-Yoo appears on stage lip-syncing while Hyubon sings backstage, because Hyubon does not care about taking the spotlight. Watching this, Leeson tells Hyubon that she will always be the true protagonist to him. On the other hand, Ji-Yoo clarifies to her mother that the voice was not hers, but Hyubon's. Hearing this, Ji-Yoo's mother finally decides to stop pressuring her, and the surgery successfully takes place. Meanwhile, Seon receives a job offer to work abroad, and the students are offered a chance to audition for an album deal. However, Hyubon's grandfather forces her to attend a traditional music competition instead. However, Leeson arrives and convinces her to follow her dreams. Hearing this, Hyubon agrees, and after apologizing to her grandpa, she leaves for the audition with Leeson. But during the rush, she accidentally injures his hand. He hides the pain and still performs at the audition, though they fail to completely impress the sponsors. Even so, Hyubon's voice stands out so much that she receives an opportunity to study vocal training in England for a year. Leeson encourages her to go because he wants to see her succeed. He gives her one of her father's music records to take with her and promises that when she comes back to return it, he will have become a great guitarist too. Sadly, Leeson later learns he needs surgery on his injured hand and may never play guitar again. Unable to accept this reality, he hides his pain and distances himself from everyone, especially Hyubon, because he does not want to become a burden on her future. One day, Hyubon and Leeson visit a cafe together, where Hyubon shows him her ticket to England. Seeing it makes Leeson admit that he is beginning to feel sad about her leaving. Later, as he brings Hyubon's order to the table, he suddenly drops the tray and clutches his wrist in pain. Hyubon immediately asks whether his injury is because of her, but Leeson denies it. After recalling the many times Leeson's wrist has hurt, Hyubon goes to the producer and tells him she no longer wants to go to England because there is someone she needs to stay with. When she meets Leeson again, she tells him that she has decided not to leave. However, instead of reacting happily, Leeson suddenly says that he wants to break up. He explains that he does not think he will be able to wait for her. Then he hands Hyubon his phone charm and walks away, leaving Hyubon breaks down in tears. Heartbroken and confused, Hyubon leaves for England anyway. Meanwhile, Seon and Jonu become engaged and prepare to move abroad as well. 1 year later, Hyubon returns to Korea as a successful singer after releasing a popular single. She reunites with Leeson and returns the music record he once gave her, but he treats her coldly because he wants to hide the fact that he can no longer play guitar properly. On the other hand, Seon already knew the truth because before leaving abroad, he had met Leeson after suspecting that Leeson was hiding something. So, to confirm his doubts, Seon deliberately squeezed Leeson's wrist. Leeson immediately winced in pain and pulled his hand away. Seeing his reaction, Seon's suspicion turned into certainty, and he asked Leeson to tell him the truth. Left with no other choice, Leeson finally admitted that his wrist was injured and that he would need surgery. He also asked Seon not to tell Hyubon anything because he didn't want to ruin Hyubon's career. However, 1 year later, when Seon and John return from abroad and Seon learns about Leeson's condition from Hyubon, he tells her the whole truth. Leeson can no longer play the guitar. Deeply hurt, she confronts Leeson for hiding such a painful truth and admits she spent all that time trying to hate him for abandoning her. In the end, Leeson realizes he should stop running away from his feelings, so he finally confesses his love and kisses her, bringing this beautiful story to an end. So friends, if you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.